do that.
Let me shut my
Okay.
off.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please, Mr. Karati.
Mr. Raccomando,
Present.
Ms. Borelli, Mr. Ocello,
Present.
Ms. Ainello,
Present.
Mr. Laurentino,
Present.
Ms. Roloff,
Here.
Ms. Torbic,
Present.
Ms. Traverso, Ms. Zattarelli.
Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So nice to see all these people here. Okay. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, please be advised that all cell phones and electronic devices are to be turned off. Okay. We're going to start off with our student representative report.
My name is Julia Corcoran, and I'll be giving the reports on all the schools. May was a busy month at the elementary school. Students in grades 3 through 6 completed the NJSLA assessment. All schools had successful field days. Thank you to the elementary physical education department for all their hard work in making this day of fun, teamwork, and fostering great sportsmanship. Thank you to all the PTOs as well as their support and contributions. We also had our spring concerts showcasing the work of our grades 4 through 6 choir, band, and ORFF students. May was a busy month at Washington School. The students had field day, which was arranged by Miss Regina French, our physical therapist, in collaboration with the Service Learning Club from the middle school, high school. It was a huge success, and everyone had so much fun. We also had a Muffins with Mom in celebration of Mother's Day and had a wonderful turnout. Thank you to the PTO for hosting this event. We also had a fun visit from NJ Exotic Pets, who brought lots of interesting animals to visit us that we could see, touch, and learn about. The Environmental Club from the middle school, high school also came to Washington School and planted flowers for us in front of our building. We are so grateful for the collaboration with our other schools. In the last few weeks, the high school has been busy. All testing has concluded. We hosted senior portraits for current 11th graders. Our music department hosted their spring concert showcasing our band, choir, choraleers, and jazz band. We had our academic awards night, prom, scholarship banquet, field day, and senior day. High school graduation is Thursday, June 20th. Pray for nice weather. Congratulations to 3 of our competition cheer girls, Valentina Congetti, Isabella Capello, and Madison Brickley, on receiving scholarships from the New Jersey Cheer and Dance Association. Additionally, Valentina was recognized as Best All-Around Applicant. Congratulations to our girls lacrosse team on winning the Sportsmanship Award for the American White Division. First team All-League players, Saoirse Tuomi, Francesca Setta, and Deanna Jose. Second team players, Natalie Rosales, Prisha Patel, and Liana Rodriguez. Honorable mention, Emily Ricklack. Baseball first team All-League players, TJ Pappas and Cole Mauser. Second team players, Alex Gomez, Noah Ampuda, and Colin Taylor. Honorable mention, Anthony Way. Track and field boys first team, Luke Faber. Second team, Devin Thomas. Honorable mention, Jack Artemisio. Track and field girls first team, Olivia Popowski, Helen Kayar, and Brianna Reyes. Second team, Deborah Wang, and our 4x400 relay team of Deborah Wang, Brianna Reyes, Helen Kayar, and Olivia Popowski. Honorable mention, Melissa Collins and Alexis Rayla. Boys lacrosse first team All-League players, Michael Mazinski and Chris Lamboy. Second team, Dylan Ciriello, Nicholas Vidiello, Martin Tupansky, and Jonathan Schnaper. Honorable mention, Aiden Keenan. Softball first team All-League players, Grace Ween, Mia Iannello, Olivia Grogowski, and Stella Cahill-Slowick. Second team, Athena Fairley, Isabel LaGuardia, Helena Stam, and Madison Brickley. Honorable mention, Skylar Nunziato. The Saddlebrook Police Department spoke to our 7th graders about joining the Saddlebrook Police Department Junior Police Academy. We have lots of enthusiastic students ready to give it a try. They do an end-of-the-year pizza party and a field trip to the Statue of Liberty. Thank you to the police department for running this summer program. On May 29th, middle school had their field day. It was a huge success. The students participated in different activities throughout the day. During the last period of the day, the middle school played a game of trivia. All the questions were about our faculty and staff. It was fun watching the students try to figure out the answers. Thank you to Mr. Simone, Ms. Forlini, and the rest of the staff that helped make this such a great day. Beck Sipinski, a member of our National Junior Honor Society, is working on a service project that has been approved for the Crayon Initiative, an organization that takes broken and discarded crayons and melts them down into new crayons for sick and disabled children in hospitals. We have a collection box in the high school main office through June 14th. Please send in your used and broken crayons. Thank you to Ms. Josephson and Ms. Sharp, our two of our middle school teachers, for assisting with this great service project. We are looking forward to the 8th grade promotion ceremony on June 19th at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Okay, now for the superintendent's report, Ms. Violetti.
Thank you. So tonight's meeting is going to be a little bit different. As you may or may not know, each month at our Board of Education meetings, we've been highlighting accomplishments and happenings at each of our school buildings. And tonight we get to celebrate some of our staff members. So we have our Teacher of the Year awards, we have our retirees present with their families, so we get to celebrate and honor them tonight. After I do my updates. So the first thing, the Crayon Initiative, I just wanted to highlight. Julia, thank you for sharing. Each school building actually does have a box for our families and parents and teachers to donate used crayons. And then it does go it's the Crayon Initiative, and they melt them down for sick and disabled children in hospitals. So each school building does have a box for that collection. And I also wanted to highlight the Saddlebrook Police Department, the Junior Police Academy. It's their second year doing this. It's at no cost to our families, and they do a fabulous job. So last year they did field trips. They did the Statue of Liberty. I believe they did the Bergen County Jail. They do a couple field trips. It's very hands-on. They actually have trucks that visit the students too, and they end the week with a pizza party. So it's a fabulous program. Okay. So some of my updates, I wanted to just highlight. We received an email from one of our high school students who is graduating, and she has been selected as a Lombardi Scholar, which is the University of Florida's most prestigious scholarship program. So I just wanted to highlight that Stephanie McNamara, so congratulations to her. And there's plenty of our high school students that are now graduating, and they are moving forward with such great accomplishments that they have had here at our high school, and we're really excited to see everything that they're going to accomplish in their future. I know our guidance department has a Decision Day slideshow, and it's to highlight each student gets to create their own slide and highlight how they're moving forward in their world. So we're excited to share that out once it's completed. I know Julia shared that Washington School, which is our preschool program, they are doing so many activities with our parents and with our students and staff over there. And they did Muffins with Mom for Mother's Day, and today I got the honor of attending Donuts with Dad. Very well attended, absolutely so great to see the children, our preschool students, interact with their families. And it's exciting because we are expanding upon Washington School, so that work is starting over the summer, and by September we should have that second floor renovated with more preschool classrooms. So we're excited for that. I don't believe last month I highlighted Kara Chapman, who's a fourth grade teacher at Smith School. She did receive the North Jersey Teacher honoree, so I just wanted to make sure I congratulated her. That was shared out as well. The next thing I want to share is that we were granted a CBI grant, Bad Choice Awards, community-based instruction. So we were chosen to receive this grant, which is for our special needs classes here at the high school. So I will let my Director of Special Services and Supervisor of Special Services share out more information in the future. But what it is it helps our learners transition from school life to adult life. So it's sort of like vocational training where they get to practice work skills and life skills in different settings, whether it's in the grocery store, bagel store, restocking the beverages, and they get to practice those independent life skills. So it's a partnership with Rutgers University, the Boggs Center on Developmental Disabilities, and they will work with our school system here, with our school district. They will provide training, they'll provide resources. So really excited, great accomplishment. We've tried for multiple years, and we finally are recipients of that grant. I also wanted to share that I did send out a Google form, a community feedback form with just a few questions. So if our parents can please take the time to answer those questions. I also sent it out to our staff. So what we decided to do this year was, instead of doing we do exit interviews, but often they're too late. So we are doing stay interviews this year, and it's too much at this time to do them all in person. So we sent out a Google form to be proactive, to find out why our staff that's staying does indeed stay with us, and what we can do to support support them moving forward. So thank you to our staff members who have already filled them out. On both forms, I have a minimum of 50 responses already. So we have a lot of work to do over the summer. The leadership team works on our summer agenda. We really focus over the summer on reflecting on the previous year and working together to develop new processes, procedures, new programs that we're able to create or revise moving forward. So thank you, and your feedback is definitely appreciated and needed. We will be presenting Julia, and Olivia is not able to make it, but our two student Board of Ed student representatives. This evening, we have a resolution that we're going to present them with. I want to thank them for their time. So thank you, Julia, who's present today, and Olivia, who's not able to make it. And with that, every year, we go through an interview process for our Board of Ed student representatives. So this year, Mrs. DeBonis, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, worked with me. We sent out a Google form, again, to gather which students were interested. They can nominate themselves or a classmate. And we ended up completing 7 interviews. And next month, we will be, or maybe August, if we don't have a July meeting, we will have Silvana Safranco and Devin Thomas, who are rising seniors, join us at our Board of Ed meeting, and we will induct them as our new Board of Ed student representatives. And the other very exciting news for us, Mrs. DeBonis, myself, and the SBEA, the Education Association, we worked together, we collaborated on completing this Teacher, Climate, and Culture Innovative Competitive Grant. And we found out this morning that we were accepted for this grant. So we have received, it's over $125,000, and we were awarded specifically for different items that we had entered into the grant. So some of those items are we were permitted to include teachers, nurses, child study team members, and school counselors. And some of the items that we're able to receive are docking stations, 24-inch monitors, wireless mice, digital notebooks. Those are the materials. And then on top of that, bonus pay for completing our vector training by a specific date, to the first however number of people, stipends for our New Jersey tiered system of supports committee members, a stipend for a field trip coordinator for elementary schools, and stipends for 5 teachers to be trained to revamp our lesson planning procedure, because what we're trying to do moving forward, our initiative is to give back time to our teachers and lessening the time they take to write their lesson plans and using their curriculum in order, like as part of their lesson plans, so in the hopes of saving time. So we're going to provide training to those 5 staff members over the summer. Mrs. DeBonis will be in touch and explain more about that initiative. Tuesday, June 18th, there is a Howard Weinberg bench unveiling ceremony at the Municipal Complex at 3:30 p.m. This was shared out with the community, but I just wanted to make sure everyone is aware of it. And our single session days start Friday. So we have a lot going on in our district. Preschool graduation is this Friday. Our kindergarten celebration and 6th grade moving up ceremonies are Monday, June 17th. Our middle school graduation is Wednesday, June 19th, scheduled for 6 p.m. And our high school graduation is Thursday, June 20th, scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Now that is dependent upon if any rain. We might play around with the time in order to be able to have it outside, because it is always better to have more family members present at the ceremony. So if we're able to have it outside by changing the time by a half hour, we will send out that information to our families. At this time, we are going to begin our presentations. So I'm going to ask our board members if they don't mind moving over to the chairs, and we will start. Okay. I'm going to start with our student Board of Ed representative. So I'm going to ask Julia Corcoran to please come up. And it's the resolution honoring her for her service on the Saddlebrook Board of Education. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but we thank you for your time. We appreciate all your work and time that you put into this position. And thank you. We're going to take a picture. Okay, I left my agenda over here. So we're starting with the retirees. There are 2 retirees that were unable to make it this evening that I still want to acknowledge. We have Stephen Badlick, who is one of our custodians, most recently at Long School, and James DeMarco, or Jimmy DeMarco, one of our custodians as well. He was mostly here at the middle school, high school, and then I believe he ended at Franklin School. So we want to thank Mr. DeMarco and Mr. Badlick for their time with us in the Saddlebrook School District and all their work that they've contributed to us and our students and staff. So thank you to Mr. Badlick and Mr. DeMarco. Okay, next I am going to invite our principal at Franklin School, Mr. Robinson, up to honor Mary Ann D. Alessi. Use the podium.
Good evening, everyone. I want to congratulate Dr. Mary Ann D. Alessi on embarking on a well-deserved retirement. In her time at Saddlebrook, Dr. D. Alessi has been many things to our students and staff. In addition to being an exceptional school nurse, she's been a confidant, a soother of scraped knees at recess, a dispenser of wisdom, and a positive presence for countless students, staff, and families. Her dedication to student health and well-being is evident each and every day. Her communication with families, organization of school events, and her mentorship of future school nurses are just a few examples of her efforts and legacy. I am incredibly grateful for the invaluable support and partnership with Mary Ann. Her support of students and staff alike at Franklin is remarkable. She leaves behind a legacy of positive relationships and a well-functioning program at Franklin School and in the district. Mary Ann, thank you for all that you do and all that you've done for our students and for our school. Thank you for your years in Saddlebrook schools. Thank you for the countless ways you've made our school a healthier, happier place. Your legacy will continue to resonate through the halls, and wishing you all the best in a happy and fulfilling retirement. Dr. D. Alessi.
I know. I know. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're staying up here, aren't you?
Yep.
All right, and next we also have Franklin School. So Mr. Robinson is going to continue to honor Mary Schwartz.
I want to congratulate Ms. Schwartz on a well-deserved retirement. Ms. Schwartz didn't just teach music, she fostered a love for it. And I witnessed this firsthand with all of the preparation that went into this school year's spectacular winter and spring concerts. It's a testament to her continued ability to create incredible musical experiences for her students. Her dedication to her students goes above and beyond. We've all seen your support at district events, your willingness to give up a Saturday for the Treble Voices Choir Festival, which I got to attend, and the countless extra hours you pour into programs and preparation. These efforts have had a lasting impact on countless students. On behalf of the entire Franklin School community, thank you. Thank you for your dedication, your passion, and the countless memories you've created. We will deeply miss your presence at Franklin, but we know your legacy and the gift of music you've given to so many students will continue on for many years to come. Thank you for your 26 years in Saddlebrook schools. You've inspired a love of music in generations of students, and your legacy will continue to resonate. Wishing you all the best and a happy and fulfilling retirement, Ms. Schwartz.
Yeah, you did fine. Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, you need a picture. I need a picture. Get back. Come on, Mare. Perfect. Thank you. Here, don't forget that. Who's that? Yeah, mine as well. Okay, so we are going to move on to our Teacher of the Year awards. So they were invited with us to a Teacher of the Year breakfast back in May, and we wanted to honor them at this June meeting. But I can't even continue without just first saying, so I've had the honor of working with Dr. D'Alessi now. She was Mrs. D'Alessi when she first started, and Mrs. Schwartz as their principal at Franklin School, which is where I started in Saddlebrook. So Dr. D'Alessi when she started, she totally digitized the entire nurse's office and created new processes that we continue to use today. So we really, that's a brief overview, but thank you, Dr. D'Alessi. And Mrs. Schwartz, dedication, passion, the concerts that she has put on for our community, the bringing ORF into our district has been huge, and there's so much more to say, but now is not the time. But thank you very much to those two. All right, moving on to Teacher of the Year. We are going to start with Franklin School, so Mr. Robinson, you're staying up. And it's Mrs. King, Lori King at Franklin School. So go ahead, Mr. Robinson.
I hope you're not tired of hearing me yet. On behalf of the entire Franklin School community, I'm honored to present our Teacher of the Year award tonight to Miss Lori King. Knowing Miss King, this is going to be a very uncomfortable few minutes for her. I say that because she does what she does every day without ever wanting the spotlight or wanting to be the center of attention. For her, the focus should always be on the students. So I'm sorry, Lori, but tonight we're making it all about you. I just want to make sure you and everyone knows exactly why you have earned this recognition and how much you are appreciated. Ms. King is an exceptional educator, but she also personifies what it means to dedicate oneself to the academic, social well-being, and growth of students. I wanted to share just a few of the reasons why Ms. King is so deserving of this recognition. First and foremost, she creates a supportive and individualized learning environment that welcomes all students. In her classroom, all students feel safe, encouraged, challenged, supported, and valued. This year, I have had so many parents of Ms. King's students share positive comments about her. I wanted to share just a few comments that were submitted by individuals that were during the nomination process for Teacher of the Year. Ms. King fosters a genuine love of learning in her students. This passion for learning is a testament to her dedication and engaging teaching style. Ms. King is constantly going above and beyond for my child. Ms. King is an outstanding educator. She excels in her profession and demonstrates unwavering dedication daily, always prioritizing the needs of her students. As both a parent and an educator, I am profoundly grateful to witness the significant impact she has had on my son's education. I am truly grateful to see the tremendous impact Ms. King has had on my son's education. And one last parent comment. Thank you, Ms. King, for always going above and beyond for Franklin School kids and for going above and beyond for my daughter. We love having you as her teacher and appreciate you 100%. Thank you so much for all that you do. There have been so many times this year that I have seen Ms. King praise and recognize a student's character, positive decisions, kindness, respect, hard work, and effort. She always takes time to make sure her students see and recognize their own amazing qualities, potential, and greatness. This is the kind of positive impact Ms. King is having every day at Franklin. She finds immense joy in recognizing the positive in her students. This focus on the positive fuels her dedication and creates a truly special learning environment. Ms. King, your passion, your dedication, and your commitment to your students are truly inspiring. We are incredibly fortunate to have you as part of the Franklin School family. Thank you for all that you do. Ms. Lori King. Was I right? You didn't, doesn't want. I know you didn't want to hear that.
Don't forget that. I now invite Mrs. Brook Hannenberg to come up as principal of Washington School to speak on Teacher of the Year honoree, Mrs. Erica Lamb, Dr. Erica Lamb.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so proud to announce Miss Erica, Washington School's energetic occupational therapist, as our Teacher of the Year. To paint a picture of who Miss Erica is as an educator, let me say this. Miss Erica does not confine herself to a single room, or a chair, for that matter, but rather you can find her bouncing around to all of our classrooms, jumping in, working with all of our students, playing, singing, supporting, and even dressing up as Olaf and dancing around the gym. And yes, as an occupational therapist, to a certain extent, it is her job to move around, but you haven't seen a therapist in action until you've seen Miss Erica laying on her belly, riding on a scooter to demonstrate a skill she really wants a 4-year-old to learn. She does all of this and then seamlessly switches gears to head to the middle and high school, where she actively engages an entirely different population of students. She can do this because she is a true professional who is not only just willing to do whatever it takes, but because she is open to seizing an opportunity to broaden her scope of practice and be the best therapist and educator she can be. Miss Erica is rarely seen without a smile on her face, and this is mirrored on the faces of her students. Her enthusiasm is contagious. She's a great sport, she's creative, and her students gravitate to her energy. As an occupational therapist, Miss Erica has an expertise in motor development and sensory processing development. However, she's so well-rounded in her therapeutic approach, our students don't even realize they're being challenged and learning language and social skills at the same time. Over the course of this school year, my first in the district, I've had the privilege of watching Miss Erica do what she loves while making a tremendous impact on the development of our young learners. Her dedication to helping our students grow and learn every day is an inspiration, and her passion for what she does is truly commendable. She is a great resource to all of our staff in the building and has even spearheaded our school's playground project. Miss Erica has spent countless hours thoughtfully working to create an age-appropriate and super fun playground for our students. Her investment in her students and our school is evident not just to the adults, but to all of the children. Miss Erica, this honor is a well-deserved recognition of your exceptional skills and the positive impact you have on all of your students at Washington School. Congratulations on your Teacher of the Year recognition.
It's not a Rolex. It's an apple.
Thank you. So much. That was so sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Don't forget that. I now invite Mrs. Deborah Wonder, principal of Helen I. Smith School, to speak on honoree Mrs. Megan McGuire.
Good evening. I'm honored to have a moment to speak about our Smith Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Megan McGuire. Megan is one of those people who seem to be able to do it all. She is a mom to Haley, Ella, and Harper, a wife to Tom, and a trusted colleague to all at Smith School. When thinking about Megan, the question to ask is not what does she do at Smith School, rather what does Megan not do at or for Smith School? Megan is one of the most dedicated staff members I have had the pleasure to work with over the years. She can be seen opening the school doors at 8:05 as she welcomes students to breakfast before the day begins. She can be seen coordinating new traditions and fun events like Balloons Over Smith, the event that the Student Council brought this past year. She is in the lunchroom and out at recess every day with her students as she helps monitor their needs and helps them successfully navigate peer relations during those unstructured times. With roughly 18 years of experience, Megan understands that every child learns differently. She has this incredible ability to handle any situation and all students. In her classroom, there is not a one-size-fits-all approach. She creates a space where students are challenged, encouraged, and empowered to reach their fullest potential. Megan isn't just a teacher, she's a teammate. She collaborates with her colleagues, shares ideas, and fosters a supportive environment. Her work ethic is contagious, inspiring those around her to strive for their best. But most importantly, her dedication is unwavering. Just this past weekend, she was spearheading a lively conversation about next year's Halloween theme for the staff. Megan is a constant source of innovative ideas. She always is looking for ways to improve our school and create a truly positive learning experience and environment for everyone. Her enthusiasm is infectious, inspiring both students and staff alike. Megan is always working to find ways to help the staff come together and support all of the learners. Megan, your dedication to our school community is truly inspiring. You are a team player, an innovator, and a fierce advocate for your students. Thank you for being an asset to the Saddlebrook School District and a Smith superstar. We are incredibly fortunate to have you on our team. Thank you.
I'm a crier. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you.
Gabby doesn't hold it.
Colors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have two more. So next, I see her children. Next, I invite Mr. Meisch, a principal of our high school, to speak on behalf of our honoree, Mrs. Christina Sasson.
Good evening, everyone. So, Christina Sesson is a guidance counselor at the high school. She's been there for 9 years. She's worked in both the middle and the high school. I've had the pleasure to be with her for 7 of those years, and it's mostly been a pleasure. Hopefully, you'd agree. I remember when I first started here in Saddlebrook, the principal at the time came up to me and he said, "You have no idea how good you have it with Christina." That was like one of the first things he said to me. And he didn't, like, he was always like, didn't tell me anything about anyone. He was just like, "You figured it out on your own, you're a smart guy, blah, blah, blah." He didn't tell me, and that was what he said about Christina. And boy, did his words ever prove to be true. They were true then, and they still are to this day. I was a mid-year hire as a vice principal, and I don't think I've made it through those first 5 months if I didn't have her. And we were in a lot of different things that year. Having worked with her directly the last 4 years, I could definitively say that there are many students who would not have made it through to graduation if they didn't have her as their counselor. She literally drags kids across the finish line. And you'd be amazed at what she does on a day-to-day. Her office is the closest one to mine. She's regularly wheeling and dealing with teachers to make sure their kids succeed in their classes and get the grade that they need to move on. And it's an aspect of counseling I didn't realize existed until I got to know Christina. With the different deals that are made, there's no one I talk to more about crazy schemes that she has to make something work for a kid, where that's pulling them out of gym 2 days a week to go to extra help, finding a teacher who will take them in during lunch, and there's an assortment of other creative options that she's always coming to me with. But can we do this? Are we allowed to do this? And, that just illustrates what she does for her kids. She's even working when she shouldn't be working. And I'll tell you a story. When she went out for surgery, everybody, including me, said, "Don't check your emails. You need to recover, right? You could be out for a week. Just take the week." Well, of course, like the first day out, there was a student in crisis, and it was one of hers. And so we're dealing with it, and everyone kind of made a pact. We're like, no one put Christina on any of the emails, because if she can't know. Well, somebody like the next day or something did put her on an email, and I think it was the day of her surgery, she texted me mad that I didn't tell her sooner, because she wanted to be in the know. And that's, just a little bit of who Christina is, the kind of counselor she is, and that really only scratches the surface of what she does for the students on her caseload. So this year, Christina is also the counselor for the valedictorian and the salutatorian. So I decided to ask them some of their thoughts on their counselor. And, of course, the valedictorian and salutatorian emailed me back within an hour with a book about their counselor. So I'm just going to share a little snippet of what they said. So bear with me for a moment. Throughout my high school journey, I've had the privilege of forming a deep connection and unforgettable bond with my guidance counselor, Ms. Sasson. Whether it was navigating through classes, discussing future career paths, or simply needing someone to talk to after a long day, Mrs. Sasson was always willing to put what she was doing down and be there, ready to listen and offer valuable advice. Her dedication to her role extended beyond the confines of academic counseling. She served as the advisor for the Outdoors Club and the Service Learning Club. Working alongside her in the Service Learning Club was not only a pleasure, but also an opportunity to witness her passion for helping others in action. It comes as no surprise to me that Mrs. Sasson was awarded the Teacher of the Year. Her commitment to her students' well-being and success is unmatched, and I can't think of a more deserving recipient of such an award. I'm beyond grateful to have had her as a guidance counselor and support through my high school journey, and I know her impact will continue to resonate with me as I embark on the next chapter of my life. The other student, our salutatorian, wrote, "A truly exceptional person. Mrs. Sasson exceeds her job title as a school counselor in every possible facet. She is a consistent source of unwavering support for many, leaving a lasting impact on countless lives. Her influence on my life extends far beyond the walls of her office, as she has shaped my future and fostered a confidence I never knew I possessed." When this student was participating in Ramapo College's Instant Decision Day, she said she was with me every step of the way, taking deep breaths with me before and blowing bubbles immediately after when I got in. Beyond her guidance, she offers an escape from the chaos going on within the school. Her door is always open, literally and figuratively, and trust me, I could attest to that. This accessibility, along with her genuine care, creates a safe space to decompress and receive insightful advice. Everything from her stash of emotional support chocolate to her swift return to work after surgery represents her commitment to her students. Her influence has instilled in me the confidence to make my own choices, the value of empathy, and the importance of pursuing one's passions. I will forever carry her lessons with me, proud to be supported by such a genuine soul. Simply put, Mrs. Sasson is not only a model of an exceptional school counselor, she is an example of the epitome of a supportive, empathetic, and inspirational human being. And I could say, as somebody who works with her day to day, she's one of the best people I've had the privilege to work with. She shows up every day. She brings her A game. And any parent whose child has Christina could sleep easy at night knowing that they have her. She provides therapy to all of the staff as well, including me. So there's no one I could imagine more deserving. Congratulations, Christina. You didn't want to fix me before?
Are you coming too?
Christina, come back. I don't want the apple to break. I now invite Mrs. Jacqueline Mansfield, principal of Long Memorial School, up to the podium to speak on behalf of Mrs. Emily Takash at Long School.
Where is Emily? Oh, there you are. This year, we received many nominations for our 2023-2024 Teacher of the Year, and I'm proud to announce our recipient at Long School, Mrs. Emily Takash. Emily truly gives 1,000% to everything she does, and is always willing to support any program, any initiative that we have in the school, in the district. Two in particular I'm thinking of is with our Dreams Nurtured Heart approach, our Long Leaders Club we did. And what I love about Emily is her excitement. I might have an idea that I might be like, is this crazy? I think it's fun. I think we could try to make it work. Emily has those same ideas, and I'll meet with her, and we both get excited. And usually by the next morning, I have a slideshow or Google Doc color-coded with thoughts, and I love that excitement. Emily has been in Saddlebrook School District for 17 years and taught at all 3 elementary schools. So all elementary students got to experience Ms. Takash. She teaches 6th grade this year, and as we all know, 6th grade is a pivotal year. Students transitioning from elementary grades to becoming adolescents, learning skills to be ready for middle school. And Ms. Takash has successfully guided her students through this exciting time in their lives. As Emily has told me, and I will quote, "Coming up with creative solutions and ways to provide my students with fond memories and rich learning experiences is my passion. And this is evident in her classroom every day. She creates a classroom environment that certainly fosters curiosity, collaboration, and a genuine love for learning. She uses innovative and engaging teaching methods, making even the toughest concepts come alive for our sixth graders, especially sixth grade math, which I do know is very complicated. But they show me fun ways that she provides them, and it's fantastic. But Ms. Takash also understands the importance of social emotional learning, creating a safe space where students feel comfortable taking risks, asking questions, and supporting one another. She naturally relates concepts to life and everyday learning, such as in her creative class economy, which she presented at the Board of Education meeting this winter. And today they had a makerspace marketplace where the kindergartners actually used that same money and they went shopping with things that the sixth graders created. And that was a fun day, and it's starting to infuse that and as the peer models for our younger students. She also co-advises our Long Leaders Club, which was new this year, and it's something that I hope to grow next year, as she will be co-advising it again next year. Empowering students with leadership opportunities in our school building, which has benefited the community as a whole. Emily, your excitement, your passion, your commitment to your students, and your dedication, it inspires me every day. Thank you for everything you do for Long School, for the Saddlebrook community, and congratulations on this well-deserved honor.
I hold it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. No, I forgot. There you go. Thank you. Okay, so thank you to our principals for being present this evening and sharing this information on their staff. And this is something that I wish we can do more. It's something that we try to highlight everything good happening in our buildings, and as you can tell, there's so much, and every month we highlight a different school and different programs, and it's so nice to actually have the staff here with their families and being able to share with our community everything that you guys are all doing. So thank you very much, and at this time, I'm going to ask our Board of Ed President, Mrs. Iannello, if we can have a motion to take a 5-minute recess, and then we will return to our agenda and business meeting. Thank you. So at this time, we'll take a 5-minute recess. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to reconvene the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we're going to go to the Business Administrator's Report. Mr. Karati?
Thank you, President Ianello. On Monday, I stated a few items for the referendum. So when school's out on the 20th, the Washington school renovations would begin on that Friday or the Monday the 24th. Renovation work has already begun at Coolidge School. And unfortunately, we're still waiting for the Department of Environmental Protection for approval on the turf field. This has been going on in July, will be almost a year. We made modifications to the fall season, and it got ready for the winter, and that didn't happen. And it still goes back and forth with the architect. So right now, it doesn't appear, unless a miracle happens, for the fall season. I mean, for the work to be done in the summer. So we made some modifications to the fall season, but that looks like that won't happen. So right now, I mean, our best guess is looks like that work would begin after the football and soccer season. As soon as they're done, and again, hopefully the DEP approves the project, then we can move forward. But that's all we have right now. At this date, June 12th. So, any questions on that?
Can they do it in January? Can
They would start
in January?
work in November, December, as long as the weather's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
They would get a majority of the work done, before the real winter sets in, and then they could put the field down, and whenever the weather's good in March or
They would start up.
yeah, we've got
Okay.
it ready for the spring season. And that concludes my report.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Karati. Okay, can I have a motion to open up the meeting for public comment only for agenda items and policy?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, would anyone like to make a comment for agenda items and policies only at this time? No? Okay. All right, can I have a motion to close the meeting for public comment?
Second.
All in favor?
There's another part for public speaking at the end of the.
Wait, only on what's the agenda?
So there's two parts of public. I'm sorry. There's two parts of public comment at our board meetings. The first one is for items on the agenda that you see on the agenda, and the second one is for any item.
Is the field on the agenda tonight?
It is not.
Okay. I will come
Thank you.
Yeah, it's another 5 minutes. We'll be there.
Okay. All right. Did we say we're all in favor of closing it? We're
Yeah.
good? Okay. All right, so then, all right, board action items, B2324.43 through B2324.49. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussions?
Point 44 are two of the HIBs that was shared in closed session. The HIB appeal, you'll find that at point 48 to our Board of Ed members. The other items, let me see, I think I explained them all on Monday's meeting. And then point 49 was added. That's the New Jersey Department of Education Teacher Climate and Culture Innovation Competitive Grant that I shared this evening.
Thank you. Any discussion, anything? No? Okay. Yeah, hold on. Roll call, please.
Mr. Laurentino.
Yes.
Ms. Roloff.
Yes.
Ms. Torvik.
Yes.
Mr. Accomando.
Yes.
Mr. Aricello.
Yes.
Ms. Ianello.
Yes. Okay, education and curriculum. Ms. Torvik, can you do that first?
Sure. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: E2324.48 through E2324.54.
Can I have a second?
Second.
I shared most of this on Monday, but I'll reiterate some of them. The Riders University for Tomorrow's Teachers, that's dual enrollment course. What that means is students take the course at our high school, and the teacher is approved for as a college professor. So students have the option of paying a discounted rate at the end of that course for college credit, and then they earn the college credit that they graduate high school with. So that program, Tomorrow's Teachers, is one course, and you don't have to be entering the field of education, but it's for our students who are interested and who would like to experience time in the classroom.
Thank you.
Oh, and .53, the Amplify. I just want to share with the board that we've actually had, so we're one of the first districts to move into this program from reading and writing workshop in our primary grades, and we've actually have had, I think, to date, maybe 4 or 5 districts come visit our elementary schools in order to observe the program in action, as more districts are moving towards this program.
Actually, if I may, because of Mrs. Violetti, my district is going to participate and get Amplify for next year, which I'm quite excited for. So I was very thankful for all of the guidance you gave me and for staff members who helped me walk through that and my district as well. So thank you for that. Okay, any discussion on any of the points? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Laurentino?
I'm going to vote yes to all, but I'm going to abstain in E2324.49.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Torbic?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Urcello?
Yes.
Ms. Ainello?
Yes. Okay. All right, budget and finance, Mr. Accomando?
Sure. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. BF 2324.120 to BF 2324.147.
We can have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Does anybody have a comment? Nothing? Nothing? Okay, let's have roll call then.
Mr. Laurentino?
I'm going to vote yes to all, but I'm going to abstain under BF 2324.120, checks 2830 and 3160.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Torbic?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Urcello?
Yes.
Ms. Ainello?
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain in BF 2324.120, check numbers 2790 and 3121. And then in BF 2324.145, I'm going to abstain from that appointment.
Okay.
Okay, facilities and operations, Ms. Torbic?
Sure. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: F2324.14 through F2324.17.
Second.
Any discussion?
This was all discussed at Monday's meeting, so I don't believe there's anything new in this section.
All right, anyone else? Anything? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Torbic?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Urcello?
Yes.
Ms. Ainello?
Yes. Okay, policy? We're good. Negotiations? We don't have anything to do.
moving along.
We're moving
Moving
along right now?
along.
Okay. All right, personnel, Mr. Laurentino.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: P2324.85 through P2324.104.
Second.
Any discussion, questions?
You'll see number 1 at .85, number 1. We received that resignation today. I do conduct exit interviews with all of our staff. I will share that these are personnel that are moving either closer to home, more convenience, a private practice, better hours, so things such as that. But all of that, all these exit interviews will be conducted. And then on .86, number 9, she accepted the offer. She is going to replace number 5 up above, 4th grade at Smith School, as a 4th grade teacher at Helen I. Smith School. So she's an addition. You'll see a revised leave at .87, .88. I'm just going to go through because I know there's a lot here. The fall, most of the fall coaches, you might see 1 or 2 or a few more at the next agenda. And then you have all the staff. And then, let me say, summer curricular writing, more staff. One of our teachers is transferring from Smith to Washington School, so that's on this agenda. That's .100. And I think that's it. Everything else was discussed Monday.
Okay, good. Does anyone else have a discussion or questions? No? Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Laurentino.
I'm going to vote yes to all, but I'm going to abstain in P2324.91, number 3, and P2324.92, number 61.
Okay. Ms. Roloff? Ms. Torbeck?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Aricello?
Yes.
And Ms. Ainello?
Okay, yes to all but in P2324.88, I'm going to abstain from all except for 5 and 12. Yes to those. In P2324.91, I'm going to abstain from 1. And, you good? Good. In P2324.94, I'm going to abstain from 14. Okay. You good? Okay. And then in P2324.98, I'm saying yes to all and no to number 53.
Okay. So all motions passed.
Okay. Committee reports. Budget and Finance, do we have one?
No.
Okay. Facilities and Operations, no. Negotiations, Ms. Otterelli's not here, but we don't have anything to discuss,
nothing
right,
to
at
say,
this time?
no.
Okay, and policy, nothing. Okay, so then our liaison reports,
Yeah.
do we have one?
PTO? Or-
Not yet.
That's liaison.
That's, yeah, last one. Do you have, are you doing?
I have longs.
Oh, so do we have anything with the
Where are
other
we?
boards?
We're on
Nothing?
liaison, right?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I do. I have education. Too.
Okay, let's do
Hold on.
Education Foundation
I gotta
first.
go to a different place in my phone. I have it. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay, so the Saddlebrook Education Foundation awarded 3 scholarships. The recipients were Eva Shaw, Olivia Lash, and Emily Rylick. Did I say it right? Richlick? Sorry, I apologize. And they wanted me to just put out congratulations to all the graduates from them. So that's that one.
Okay. All right, so, do you want to continue and do then?
Long?
Long?
Sure. Okay, let's see. Field Day was held on May 31st. The students had an incredible time. The PTO provided inflatables, T-shirts, and ice pops. Their Tricky Tray was held on Monday, June 3rd at the Paramus Elks Lodge. The PTO would like to thank all the volunteers who made this event possible. We would also like to thank all the businesses and families who donated gifts, gift cards, and baskets. Upcoming events. They have an end-of-the-year class parties will be held on Wednesday, June 19th at 11:45 a.m. The PTO will provide pizza and ice cream for all students and staff. Class parents will provide additional goodies and activities. Meetings will be held the second Tuesday of each month in the LMS cafeteria, and the next meeting is Tuesday, October 8th at 7 p.m. Wow, they already have their next year.
Wow.
That's it.
Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Smith School, Mr. Accomando?
I have two, actually, one for Smith, one for Franklin. That's
Perfect.
all right.
Take it away.
All right, I'll do Franklin first. Their book fair was a success. It was a BOGO, buy one, get one, and they sold over $12,000. Wow. I guess that says retail. Scholarships, we just announced two of them for $500. One was for Prisha Patel and Olivia Lash. Last week of school, the kids will be treated to pizza, Clyde's Italian Ice, Mr. Softy, and other treats. And voted for the new sign. Up to $15,000 will fundraise for an additional needs. Okay, and new officers were elected at Franklin. The president is Diane McCarthy, vice is Kathleen Landry. Recording secretary is Nicole Roble Letty. Corresponding secretary is Jennifer Krivica, and treasurer Justine Griswold. Look how tiny this is. Thank you to Kelly Post, Christy Zottarelli, Sarah Manicki for their service to the Franklin School PTO. And Smith, let me get that one, sorry. Okay. Okay, they want to say a big thank you to all the Smith families who have helped make the school year a great one, to everyone who participated in fundraisers and came out to events, and to parents who volunteered. Thank you. Their coin battle was a fun success. Students placed the most coins into Miss Murphy's bucket, and she will get pied in the face. The spring book fair was buy one, get one. Families loved having the opportunity to get a book for free. Smith hosted Field Day on June 6th. It was a beautiful day, and the kids had a blast, and the end-of-the-year picnics are planned for next week with pizza from the PTO and planning for different treats and surprises for all students. And thank you to the board, and have a great summer. That's from Smith.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there one for Washington School by any chance? No? Okay. All right. There's not one for the middle school PTO either. Okay. At this time, can I have a motion to open up the meeting to the public for public comment? All in
Second.
favor?
Oh, wait, don't we have to do old business, new business?
Oh, I'm sorry. I always skip that. Correspondence?
No.
Okay. Old business? New business?
Through the chair, if I could.
Yes. Sorry.
First, I'd like to thank Ms. Julia and Ms. Olivia for the year that they provided for us. I wish you continued success in all you do. Thank you congratulations to the teachers of the year, the retirees, and to all of our staff for a wonderful school year, and to our administration and the board. Have a great, and congratulations to the seniors, 8th graders, 6th graders who were moving up, and the kindergarten kids who were graduating. And have a wonderful summer. Thank you so much.
Always well said, Mr. Accomando. On that, I'm going to piggyback. I just want to also thank Ms. Burns for all of the work she did with the scholarship dinner and the academic awards. She puts in a tremendous amount of work, and I know all of the administration does, but I really see how much care she put into it, and I'm really appreciative for everything she's done. I think it ran very smoothly. It was well executed, and I just want to thank her for that. And then again, thank you to all of our staff, administration, and teachers. I hope you have a wonderful summer. Okay, anyone else would like to make a comment?
Just one other item for that meeting. I put the email out. We have a June 24th meeting scheduled, but we're looking maybe to move that to June 18th. I didn't hear back from everybody. Is June 18th good at 6 p.m.?
I won't be able to.
You're good. You're here? Finishing, okay. All right, so, Accomando, you're good?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll probably shoot for that one. We hear back from a few more board members.
Okay. All right.
So I just want to share also that, as you can hopefully tell from tonight's presentations, that our staff here at Saddlebrook School District is really amazing. And I think the most special thing about our staff here is that they all work together, and they, if someone needs assistance, they are there to support. That's probably one of the biggest pieces of our staff at Saddlebrook School District that I'm most proud of. So I do want to thank all of our staff, and hopefully that was highlighted tonight. And I do apologize. I see that there's community members waiting to speak, and normally our presentations do not go as long, so I do apologize. I appreciate your patience, and I think that we might be getting ready for it.
Yes. Okay, we're good? One? All right, so then I'll start over. A motion to open up the meeting to the public.
Motion.
Second.
Any opposed? Or any, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. I just have to read this statement. Residents are required to state their names, address, and subject matter. In the event it appears that the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5 minutes duration. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Okay. Would someone like to come and speak? Come.
And if I may, I see that there's some new community members here. So what we do during public comment is you share your comments. We have everyone share their comments, and then at the end, we will respond at that moment. And if you're not a parent and you want communication from myself, just at the end, just make sure I have your contact information. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Caroline Simonek. I live at 110 South Last Wing. I've been a resident of Saddlebrook for most of my life. I went to college school and kindergarten. I graduated from this high school, and I've loved growing up and living in this town with the football field in my backyard. And the turf field is the subject of my inquiry tonight. One of the things that I don't love is that we live in a special hazard flood zone. And as you know, we're very concerned about drainage in the turf project. I watched the Zoom meeting when the architect gave the background on the plan originally before the referendum in March. And he talked about layering in stones and even suggested that perhaps that might help drainage. But I recall, I think it was in the February meeting, we talked about something that had changed in the summer, and that working with the DEP for approval, that there were more considerations and analysis around how the groundwater would be dispersed. So I'm wondering if you could give us an update on two things. What changed last summer, and what's the current plan with the DEP around the drainage for the turf field? Thank you.
Yeah, I guess you want us to talk first and then answer the questions? Okay, great. So I'm Bobby LeBeau. I am 120 Southwest Swing Avenue. I've been a 25-year resident. Believe it or not, I got about 38 family members that live in town. My wife, actually, Marcia, worked for the Board of Education. My father-in-law was a second graduation class at Saddlebrook High School. I also live partial to the flood zone, and I just want to understand a little bit more on how you're going to remediate any water or any additional water coming over to the flood zone, because most of the houses around there are all 100-year flood zones.
Yes. Brian O'Connor, 357 Poplar Street, the house behind the scoreboard. I've been there for about 40-something years. I know all about the flooding. It's come to my house. It's come to my neighbor's house. You want to put a flood zone like area in there? There's an aquifer in a certain area to the left of my house. That's right by Caroline's house. You want to put the turf field in? Terrible idea. Terrible idea. Does anybody know where the field pumps out to? Does anybody on the board know where it goes to? Anybody? Raise your hand if you know where it goes to. Does anybody know? Just raise your hand if you think you know. It goes out to Route 80. So now, when the whole field floods and you're pumping water where it's flooded already, it's not going anywhere. It's coming back to the homes. You know, there's no reason to put a turf field in there. You have a great asset right there. Like, you know, that is a nice field. People are replacing. Do you know that Ridgewood replaced their field with a turf field? It flooded and it floated. And they had to pay for it all over again. So you're doubling the cost. Instead of spending money on a turf field, why don't you fix the roof and put solar panels in? There's no reason to replace that. It's ridiculous. Does anybody know what the sprinkler system setting is on there? Does anybody know what the cost is to who's cutting the grass there? Who's cutting the grass? What time it takes? I watch it. It's right in my front yard. I see the guys cutting the grass. They're cutting it 100 miles an hour. I've been in the landscaping field for 40 years. Michelle knows me. She knows that I used to have a turf license in the state of New Jersey. I don't need it anymore because my boss has it. But to replace the field is a ridiculous asset to this community. It's ridiculous. So you replace the turf field. What about the field, the baseball field, the field behind, you know, the stands? That's going to flood too. So you're just, why don't you invest in the baseball field, the field behind it, and the high school field? You know, put a little time and effort into it. Know who's cutting it. Know what the sprinkler system settings are. You know, but like, just to like, you know, throw a turf field in there because you think, because Johnny and Susie doesn't want to get dirt on their knees, that's ridiculous. I mean, come on now. You know, like, you know, you guys are pricing me out of this town, okay? You're pricing me out of this town. I'm a single guy. I've lived here for 40 years plus, and 50 years plus, and you're pricing me out for these ridiculous decisions. There's no reason for it. If you put me in that field for 1 year, it would look like Yankee Stadium. But instead, you put some janitor and some other guy cutting at 90 miles an hour and no chemicals, no spraying, no nothing. I mean, come on now. You know, I've never been to a boarding meeting before. I don't go to town. You know, I maintain outside the fence on the school's property. I've been maintaining that for 15 years. The school has cut it twice in the last 15 years. You could ask my neighbors, who cuts the grass outside of the fence behind the scoreboard? It's me. I'm the guy, and it looks nice. And has anybody been back by the stream over there? It's a disaster. When I was a little kid, there used to be like tadpoles, crayfish, minnows. Now it's a toxic swamp filled with like branches. You know, it's orange. You know, like, go back there. None of you have been back there. You just want a nice, you know, green field 24/7, and that's not the way that things work. You know, you're costing the town a lot of money for no reason whatsoever. I played on Smith School Field where they redid the high school field, and it was a disaster. It was a bumpy, hilly, grindy thing, but we did it. We just dealt with it. But now you want everything manicured and leveled and no bumps, no bruises. I mean, like, you know, come on now. You know, like, make rational decisions that are smart decisions, economical decisions. You know, that is not a smart economical decision to put a turf field in that field when it's a flood zone and you're just going to cost everybody more flooding, because that water is not going to go into the ground, and when you do pump it out, it pumps right where it's flooding, because I know exactly where it is. There's a concrete stanchion, it's about this high, and there's about a 6-inch tube that comes out, and so none of you have ever been back there, and none of you have ever seen it. And to make a decision like that is ridiculous on my behalf, and that's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Please have a better decision for us.
I'll go real quick. How you doing? I'm not big on public things. I apologize, guys. My name is Richard Forgy. I just moved on to 102 South West Wing within the last 2 years, I think. I've never been in a flood zone, never had to deal with it. Before my first payment, that flood that flooded down over on River Road or by the church came up my street, and I didn't know what to do. Like, it lost my mind. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. It was really scary to see the water come up, and it took over my block. And I just met these neighbors of mine who introduced me to that, and a block away they had rafts out and things like that, like this was normal. You know what I mean? To me, it was shocking. I almost lost my whole basement, everything like that. I have recently put in new drainage, new sump pumps, tried to protect my home with what I have. I've been here in town for about 13 years, moved around, and bought a house recently. Like I said, when I think about the turf field, I think about where the water's going to go, and that's my fear. It's right on my fence line. It comes up my yard. As soon as it hits a certain level, my house is getting flooded in the basement. And I know you guys deal with the same things. It's not a big flood zone, but when it happens, it happens. And like I said, about the turf, my theory in my head is, where does it go? Where, if it lays on top and basically there's a plastic cover, it has to dispense somewhere. And I'm afraid that's going to come into my backyard and into my house. And at that point, I have to deal with insurances and payments and things like that, which you guys are not going to have any part of, because the field will be in and I will have to deal with it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not big into public statements or even coming across in this way. I'm just concerned for myself, my family, and my home. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Hernan Vargas. I've been in Saddle Brook for almost 4 years, and I'm in 90 South West Wing. I am in the center of the field. When we had the flood, all the water from the field coming to my house. When I rebuilt my house, I made a special pump because the water going to my basement, and my idea was to build, something that get the water out and put it into the sidewalk. And that system is still working. But every time that we had a flood, all the water from the field coming to my house, and it's cut out too. I would like to see, everything nice in Saddle Brook. Whatever you guys has is beautiful, but you have the thinking in us too. I believe that we need better system to drain the water. And we can do whatever we want for the best of the school and for the best for the town. But you guys have the thinking us too, because we had that water coming all the time. All the time when the field flood is coming to my house. Thank you.
Tamara Vargas, I'm his wife. The first time that I experienced a flood was scary, very scary. Floyd, I think it was, 98. And then we had Irene. It's like you're in your house and you can't get out of your house until the water resides. And changing the field will be like it's a terrible idea, I believe. I also think that you are planning on building bleachers by the fence. We have been living there quiet. The minute that is built, we're going to have noise. People coming from who knows where, and the lights at night. We already put through with the rehearsal at night. It's a little loud, but we put up with it. So making it worse is not a good idea for us. And the minute that I see anything being built behind the field, I'm putting my house for sale and moving out of Saddlebrook. Thank you.
Can I just state one more thing? I apologize. Rich Forgy, 102 South Austin. In facts of financial things on my behalf, and same thing as we are all doing, trying to confront the flood, I put in a new system. It cost me $9,000 that I did not have. I had to loan that out just to basically like put a whole new system in my basement and everything like that, just to like make sure my house was safe. And now at this point, I'm kind of worried about it. Sorry.
Hi, Elaine DePalma, 87 South West Wing Avenue. When I bought my house in I grew up here my whole life, when there was farms and there was a lot more land before they built up everything. When I bought my house in 1997, we were told it's a 100-year flood zone that you're in. I'm like, it never floods here. I never saw a flood here. And then when Floyd hit, we were shocked. And I'm like, I guess it hit the 100 years. And my husband was like, well, you always wanted waterfront property, but it wasn't like that. And this is how we all became very close as neighbors, because we go out and we're all like, what is this? Well, it's no longer a 100-year flood zone. It's been flooding a lot more. Just 3 years ago, like we had to speed out of our driveway just to make it, to take my son to college, because that water was rising. And I watch it rise, and I watch it come from even the field, which is grass right now. So the drainage isn't good right now. So I live it, I see it. And of course, I want our town to be better. I want to stay here. I'm very happy, but I don't think having the turf field where we flood is going to do anyone any good. Thank you.
Scott Albanese, 84 South West Wing. Again, I'm not into this speaking, coming and doing these things, but none of you care. I look at your faces, none of you care. I can see it. Not one of you came to my house, any of these people's houses, to talk to us about this. Not one. Ray, no, they came to your house. No, they didn't. Not one of you came and talked to any of us, because you don't care. All you care about is yourselves, and you just make the town look pretty. Okay? One, turf. NFL's taking it out because his kids, adults are getting hurt, and you want to put it in for the kids. Good, that's good, all right? The flooding, everybody talked about it. I don't have to talk about it. I'm right there. You're gonna put stands there so people throw garbage in my yard? Okay? When the old stands were there, that's all they did was throw garbage in my yard. It's not Saddlebrook I worry about. It's the towns you bring in to play, okay? We don't need stands. You got those stands on the other side. I don't know if any of you realized it. Teams ain't that great. They ain't bringing in that many fans. We don't need more stands. That's ridiculous. And lights. I listened to the band practice to 9 o'clock, and they're kind of quiet. Now, you want to put lights up and crank radio at halftime and in between plays of a football game, soccer game, all of this? That's ridiculous. To 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night? That's ridiculous. And who's paying for security on my street after the game when all the kids are hanging out in their cars and all of that? Again, not worried about Saddlebrook kids, worried about other towns coming in here, okay, because they drive. And then they're going to be parking on our street, okay, and looking in our houses, looking in our garages, okay, drinking, and then doing who knows what. You's going to pay for security for that? I sure hope so. I just don't understand how you don't get this flood thing. Obviously, the EPA or whoever, DEP, whoever it is, if it's a year, they're thinking this shouldn't be there. There's records. Google them, okay? Nobody recommends putting in a turf field in a flood zone. Nobody. You know who does? The companies that put them in, turf field companies. They're the only people that recommend it. Everybody else don't recommend it. I work in Ridgewood. $75,000 to clean those 2 fields each. Last time when it flooded a month ago? I have pictures. I'll show them to you. I have all your email address. I'm going to email them all to you. Okay, I should have been doing it, but I'm busy. I work 80, 90 hours a week. Okay? And then you want me to come home to listen to these lights and all of this, but that's besides the point. Okay? You don't need it. These kids don't need it. They can play in a grass field. There's none of you, explain to me what the turf field and lights are going to do for the kids. Explain that to me. Nothing. It ain't going to make the education better. Ain't making the sports team any better. There's no need for it. None of yous care. I should go rent lights and put them out in front of each one of your houses overnight, okay? I'm gonna leave them there for a couple months, see how you like it, okay? We'll flood your house, see how you like it. What annoys me is not one of you came to my house to talk to any of us about this. You just went and put it up. And then when it got voted down, what'd you do? We're gonna change the words. I told a friend of mine, don't worry, it's going to pass. You change the words, you change the monies, you put things in there people don't understand. We're going to push the money back to, what is it, 2031? Is that where we're pushing it back to? I think so. So what happens with the interest from now there? Oh, that's right. We'll need more money to pay that. And then when you want me to pay, you're going to pay my flood insurance and their flood insurance because of this turf field. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Most of this is Mr. Crotty.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Claudia, would you like to speak to any of it?
I don't have much more to say on it. I mean, you guys addressed it. You said you watched the meetings, the architect. I don't have his certifications. He's working with the DEP, so is our environmental consultant. And they just take a long time reviewing it. You respond to them, they take weeks and months. That's why it's taken so long. The field is the same as grass. We're not putting an asphalt or concrete parking lot down where water doesn't run through it. The water's going to run through it the same way it is now. The architect is actually making the drainage better in the field and putting more volume in there for the field to hold water. It still is a flood zone. I mean, he's not fixing the flood zone. I mean, that he's definitely not doing. So all this is getting reviewed and approved by the DEP before we can move forward. As far as using the...
Nobody recommends it. Nobody.
As far as using the field, you can have, if we had money for the Yankee Stadium crew to come in, which would be great, we can keep grass, but we do not have the money for that or the manpower to have teams play on the field game after game. You can play on a turf field when it rains, while it's raining, right after it rains, right after it snows, 24/7, and nothing will happen to that field. You can't do that on grass. You have one rainy football game, that grass is destroyed. And if you look at the teams, pro teams, they have money to resod it. We do not have the money for that. So we are giving the kids a benefit of giving them somewhere to play, a level playing surface, and we went through all that when we were building the referendum. I'm not arguing on your comments and stuff. They're all valid. I'm just, just pointing out some facts to, to this field. I don't know if the board members have any comments, but there's not much else I have on it.
Because none of you understand it. None of you understand it.
Through the chair, does anyone have a comment?
I just want to say that, Mr. Albanese, don't sit here and say that we don't care. Me specifically, don't
You
say
might care
that.
because you
Oh,
live
okay,
there.
but don't
We
say
don't
you
care.
all. You don't know
No,
because you don't
Okay,
know
wait,
each and
wait.
every
I've been
one of
flooded
us.
3 times.
I don't
Wait,
sit
wait.
up here. I don't sit up here, and I wasn't elected not to care. I care about all our children. I care about our town that I've been in for over 50 years
How come nobody came to
myself.
my house talking to them?
I don't know why. I'm not here to answer your question. I'm here to let you know that I am here because I do care.
Oh, I
And
know
I
you
was
care, 'cause
elected
you live
because
there.
I care.
They don't.
I
They
live
don't
over
care.
on Les Wing Ave. My mother is on South Les Wing, and it is a big concern for me as well.
Oh, I know that.
And I've
I
also,
apologize if I
it's-
put you in with them, because I know you care, because you're right
Okay,
here.
I'm
But none of
just-
them care.
okay,
None.
I just wanted, I probably could speak for all of us up here and say that we didn't run to be on the Board of Education, not to care. That's all I'm saying. We're here because we
You
do
just don't
care.
care about flooding, you just care about taking care of the kids. I get that. That's what you're supposed to be doing. But flooding of our houses is ridiculous. None of you care. What are you gonna do when it happens? Nobody recommends it. Google it. It's not recommended. But you wanna do it anyway.
I'm sorry, but the public comment section is over now, so we can't have it back and forth. That's not how we conduct our meetings.
Maybe that's how you work things out.
Well, I'm sorry. So anybody else from the board?
Through the chair. Good.
I don't want to go back and forth.
No, I just want to say that I've been flooded. I've been flooded 3 times where they told me I wouldn't flood. And I too, like Mr. Forgy, I had to put in a $10,000 drainage system. So I know what you're talking about.
Do you have a
And don't,
flood zone? Do you have
Don't
flood insurance?
comment back.
flood insurance?
Flood insurance.
No.
No, we're gonna need it all. All of us are gonna need it.
Okay, we're done. We're done.
Okay, but like you said, no,
Just finish your statement and then we're done.
I do have the drainage, so I know what you're talking about, Mr. Forgy. It's a big expense, and it's an expense you don't expect. I do care. You know, you can sit there, point fingers all you want, and say people don't care. We care. We can, and I
Okay,
can't. And the
so-
reason why we can't come to your house because it's unethical as board members to go to your house. I can't go to your house.
So when do we?
Mr. Malacomondo, we are not going in a back and forth. That's not how we conduct our meetings. They had their portion, they've spoken, now it was our turn,
Okay,
and we're done.
I flood.
So
I know how
at
you
this
feel.
time, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
You didn't
Any-
answer the questions.
Could you address
Lighting.
the concept of the field, the
Yes,
stands?
we need to hear from you guys what,
Wait.
Through the chair. Don't we have all the meetings with the architects and all that on, isn't it on video? Isn't it on the app? Because they're the people that answered these questions. When we were doing the referendum, didn't we?
Do we have the referendum site still there?
Because they're the ones that answered these questions. We're not architects. We're not, like, these questions were answered during when we were prepping for
He just
this.
wants your money. He don't care about the houses around it to get flooded.
the important part here is that we need that's it. Somebody has to
So
tell
I
us-
do have, there was a Google site and all this information was shared publicly, and let me make sure it's still on our district site. There are videos from the architect and that will address all of this. Let me just make sure it's still on our website. If it's not, I will repost it tonight.
Well,
It is. So on our homepage, there is under quick links, under district shortcuts. If you go to referendum 2023, it will direct you to our Google site where all the information, all the projects, all the explanations, the videos, the state aid, all of this was shared out and it's still on our website.
Okay, so basically, all of the answers that you're looking for are very specific. We do not have the background for that. It's on these videos that was shared to the public months ago, a year ago when we did this. So those very specific questions, you're entitled to hear them, but it's on those videos. We cannot speak to them. We did have meetings where the architect came and spoke with the community. We had sessions where we hash out and you were able to sit with them. Many people didn't come. That is not our, okay, but we did put out flyers. It was, yes, it was, ma'am. Okay, I'm not
Wait,
going to
Ms.
go
Leonard.
back and forth, but we did.
I can-
So it's
wait.
on the website now, if you would like to take a look at it.
But I could read one statement from there. This is on the website. So the architect said, "The Department of Environmental Protection will review the district's plans for the new turf field to make sure they are providing appropriate drainage for stormwater. The entire project, including the field, must have a zero increase in volume on the site. This will assure all surrounding properties that the stormwater from the site is not being displaced onto neighboring properties. And that's what the DEP is doing right now. In fact, since this, they've made more changes to make it harder to do stuff. So they're making us, that's why it's taken so long. They're making them redo things, and he's got to show them how the water is going to affect on, I think it's a 5-year, 10-year, and 100-year storms. But since this meeting, it's even gotten harder to get it approved. So that's why it's taken so long. And whatever the plans are, that's what the contractor is going to do on the field. He has to follow that. But again, all the stuff is on there. I don't know what else to do.
Okay. All right. At this time, we're going to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Do I have a second? All in favor? Any opposed?